Hello, and welcome to another edition of Mindful Monday. Today, we're going to talk about how clear do we actually communicate? So, clarity in the way that we communicate to others is a huge and important skill to always refine and work on. What are a couple indicators that maybe you need to work on the way that you communicate? Number one, frustrations. If you sense there's a frustration in a conversation happening, there may be a misalignment, a misunderstanding of what the basis of the information that you're giving is for and why. So if there's any kind of frustration, if there's a lot of back and forth, communicating via email or text can get really time consuming if there's not a crystal clear conversation or request happening. There could be a lot of back and forth when really a couple face-to-face or on the phone clarity conversations can clean up that mess. Maybe you're reading the body language. You're having a conversation with someone and you see either A, they are not listening to understand, B, they actually don't have a clue what you're saying. It's the deer in the headlights kind of look, or C, they're completely disconnected. If you ever see somebody that you are having a conversation with and they're looking at this, they are not listening to what you are talking about, what you're saying, or a request that you might be making. It's not happening. So how can you clean this up? What can you do to really do a self-check on how clear am I communicating? Number one, ask. Hey, I noticed that you seemed a little bit confused. Are you understanding what I'm talking about? Do a reality check. Check in with the other person. Ask for feedback. Is there mistakes being made? Huge red flag on what part did you play in the mistake that was made? Were you crystal clear on expectations or the way that you communicated? Let me give you a personal example of this. I have 3 teen children. My 2 daughters are still in the house. My son is off at college. Just last week, I sent a text to my daughters and asked them to clean their rooms, period. That's all it was. The text went to both daughters, labeled girls, that's my text chain, please clean your room. Okay, a couple hours went by. I went downstairs to check on them. One of the 2 daughters had done the job, cleaned the room, and then was just sitting and relaxing in her room. The other had not even started, not even sure if looked at the text message, and I immediately got frustrated. My question was, why haven't you done what I asked? And the response immediately was, well, for one, you didn't tell me you wanted it done right now. For 2, I'm going to, but I was planning on doing it on Tuesday when I'm not working. And for 3, I don't see what the urgency is. I don't understand why this is so important to you. You didn't tell me that it had to be done right this moment. It almost made me laugh because what I realized is the daughter that actually completed the task, it shouldn't have even gone to her. She had very minimal work to do. She didn't need to really even clean her room. It was not disarray like the other. The other had a ton of laundry, had been extremely busy with friends, hadn't really spent a lot of time taking care of what chores are needed to be done in the house. The text communication, looking back, should have gone directly to that individual. Lesson learned, sometimes when we communicate and we send to multiple people, there's a misunderstanding of what the intention, what the request is actually about, why. If I could go back, how I would do it different, I would have a face-to-face conversation. And I would tell her, you know what, you've been so busy lately, you've got a couple hours downtime. Here's what I would love to see from you. I would love you to clean up your room, do your laundry. If you need some help, please ask, but I need this done before you leave the house tonight with your friends. Then I was crystal clear. I gave a timeline. I gave it directly to the individual that I intentionally wanted to have it for anyway. And I offered support and clarity, additional follow-up and clarity. This is just an easy example of how common this kind of lack of clarity can be and how really when we find ourselves frustrated, so oftentimes it's our own fault. So today and this week, my challenge to you is do a clarity and a communication check-in. If you find that you are constantly frustrated or feel like things are not getting done in the way that you want, This is an accountability moment for you. Step up to the plate. Ask for a conversation. Say, you know what, I'm feeling some frustrations. How can I communicate more effectively? How can we get on the same page? Here's what I want from you. It's all about clarity, and as we all know, clear is kind. Now go and make it a great week.